Okay, so we should be finishing log 1 today. That's what should be happening. Okay, and there's a few of you that have, and I've given you feedback. I'm not going to spend too much time with those people because they've got a lot of feedback to carry on with. After I've done this video, I'm going to come around and meet with every single person that hasn't shown me their work so far, so I can give you some feedback so that we don't get to next week and it's not achieved. We need to start log 2. Right? Now, log 2, some guidance. The first log, most identified the risk of hypothermia as our major risk that we're trying to avoid. And we all talked about action planning and how that was trying to, as a leadership strategy, minimize the risk of hypothermia so that we could all participate. Another one that people talked about was getting lost. Okay. So for the second log, we need to move away from that. We can't talk about those risks again, and we also can't talk about action planning as our main leadership strategy. We might touch on it, but that's not the main one we're talking about. So what was the main risk we were using leadership strategies to minimize other than hypothermia and getting lost? So getting lost was one thing we didn't want. Getting hypothermia, either because you're lost or just because you were cold, was another thing. What was the third main thing that we didn't want to happen? Think mountain biking and high roads. What was there's a high risk of there, or felt like a high risk? Sorry? Yeah, injury, alright? So that would be the main risk. Injury, either severe or minor. Okay, that's the risk management, risk we're trying to minimize. Then we need to ask ourselves, well, what were the main leadership strategies we used apart from action planning that we used to try and minimize that particular risk? Starting off with I and ending with we. Remember, we always talk about I first, and then its impact on the functioning of the group. So go back as well. So coming back through the RAMS forms, that's what Ruby's doing at the moment, to try and find the things that we did, or she did, that wasn't action planning, that we're trying to minimize getting injured. Also, use your logs. Remember when I got you to write all of that stuff down during camp? Yep. Use those. There's stuff in there that you would have used or would have done and reflected on and adapted and changed in camp that was leading to minimizing the risk of getting injured. In fact, you have to show me some crossover. So you have to have some stuff from those logs in your final essay, because those logs weren't just done in isolation. It shows us reflection in action. All right. And I said you can't use the same strategy twice. All right. So if you've finished your first log, that's what you're moving on to now. All right. Go back to the planning process. Start putting down some ideas. Run your ideas past me now, and then crack on from there. Okay. Right. Any parts of it? Cool. Final thing. Remember, don't share your logs with me through eMeta and ask for feedback, because there's a risk that I will miss it because I get so many emails in a day, and without meaning to, some fall off my radar. So for example, there's no disrespect to you, Ruby, you handed it in on, I think, Thursday. I didn't get to it till Saturday night because I just forgot that it was there, and it just happened to be going through something else. I was looking for another email and I came across Ruby's and oh shit, I've got to give her that feedback. She probably could have got it on Friday morning if it had been through Google Classroom, because I was checking Google Classroom and I keep looking, oh, no one's handed it in, so no one wants feedback. No one's handed it in, so no one wants feedback. So please hand it in and put a comment that says feedback, please, so I know what's going on. And then that also might go through to my email, and that reminds me as well sometimes. Right? Cool. Okay, so going back to it, don't waste time or time's going to waste you. I'm emailing home today just to let parents know that this is due next Tuesday, no with buts or ands. So I would expect that all your kite time, all of your homework time would be largely geared towards this. Do we have any major assessments due next week? Like major ones like this? No, because if there say was 2 big ones on Tuesday, I could potentially move this one slightly for a day. But if there's no other massive ones, all good? No? Okay, so major focus is this, let's go.